Hey guys, Tasha here. My intentions were to not talk about the drama that is going on between the Scott sisters at all because there are enough people talking about it. But I have to give my opinion. Despite saying I wasn't going to, here I am. So let me start off by saying this. Many years ago, when Tamika decided to go on radio and lie about Candy and say that Candy slept with her boyfriend's father, Jermaine's father, as well as Jermaine, and she was an industry hoe and all these other things. That was the start to me of what we're now seeing. I don't care what your belief system is. I think that we can all agree that what goes around comes around. So I look at what is going on now with the Scott sisters as karma. Karma in one of the saddest ways. When I think back to Escape, I originally used to love Tasha, not because she was one of the lead singers, but because I felt like Tasha was representation for girls like me who weren't the small, perfect shape, who weren't those girls. And now when I look at Escape and what's happened and think up to all the different unsung and different series and things that we've seen, I now understand that the reason why Escape will never be completely solid is because of Tasha. You can agree to disagree with me, that's fine, but we're seeing it play out. The other day, Tamika released receipts, what we've all been asking for, the proof that Rocky and or Tasha stole her $30,000. Tamika did a great job at delivering her receipts and showing the original documentation and showing how things were altered, as well as including Miss Diane, I think that's her name, Tiny's mom, to further back her on what was done. Even with seeing on the documentation that the way that Tasha writes her eyes with the circle versus the way that Tamika writes her eyes with the dot, even seeing all these things and hearing from her sister and seeing the proof and the receipts and seeing the text messages that was sent to her that had very similar verbiage that Rocky used verbatim when he was talking to Tasha K, talking about exposing them and how he was sent news and all these other things, we're still going to sit here and we're going to deny it. And we're going to act like we don't know what our sister is talking about. Then we see that Tasha, beforehand, before her sister released the receipts, went on the Fox Soul, talked with these women who pick sides, which I feel like we've all picked sides, but there's a way to be an interviewer and remain neutral. And that's not what we saw on the episode with Vivica and Lisa Ray and Claudia and all of them. We saw them take sides, and we saw that Tasha played victim and she cried a little bit. And because of that, you empathize with her and sympathize with her and decided that what she was saying was true. And I feel like all the poking and prodding, the text messages, all those other things caused Tamika to get upset and to prove that she wasn't lying. Now today, Tasha decided that she was going to go online and cry and ask us, the fans, the people, to give her a little slack and stop bullying her and picking on her and show her grace. And one of the things that really, really irritated me with her talking was not only did she make herself seem like a victim, she said she didn't know what she did wrong, which I don't understand how you don't know at this point what you did wrong. She said she doesn't understand why her sister is saying that she stole the money when she didn't stole the money, and that she wants Tamika to just talk to her. Please just talk to her. When you've said out of your own mouth that you hadn't talked to your sister before you all started filming. So if once you filmed, once this information came out, once all this back and forth went on, after you changed your number, this situation still wasn't rectified. And if you ask me, you weren't really trying to fix it. You said you were, but you weren't. If that's your sister, you do know where she stays. Why have you not pulled up on your sister to resolve the problem? Because you're wrong. And because you continue to lie. Tasha sat up on that live and said that the reason why that she's going through this is because she just wants to sing for God. And because she wants to sing for God, this is one of her valleys. I hate when people use God as a reason as to why they go through the things that they go through. People put too much on God. If you're a believer, you feel like you have something called free will, and you feel like God gives us free will. And there are times where he will intervene, and there are times where he won't. I don't feel like God is in this mess. It's too much. You're sitting on the live crying, saying to Mika, Mom, call me, call Mom. Mom's trying to reach out to you, and da-da-da-da. Mom don't need to reach out to her because we've already seen what her mother is going to do. Her mother is going to take your side. The only way this is going to be fixed, Tasha, is if you tell the truth. And you've yet to do that. And then you lie even further and tell us that you had an open relationship with your husband and you know about all the women and all the stuff that he does. You know everything. That's what she said. So if she knows everything, then she knows about the woman getting his name tattooed on her, and she knows about the babies and all that other stuff. You mean to tell me that you're willing this much to protect this man and make yourself look foolish, that you're going to sit there and lie and say that you know everything? Tasha, come on, sis. Come on. Her self-esteem is shot. And she's dug herself in so deep of a hole that at this point, I don't know what she's gonna do. She just wants her family. She just wants her family. She just wants her family. You had ample opportunity to get things right with your family. Ample. And now that you're going on tour and you're going from station to station and they're not discussing your album, I don't know how this is going to fare with Motown Gospel. Because I don't think Motown Gospel signed up for this. I don't think they signed up for a woman who is supposed to be a gospel artist who has a husband that is out here threatening people and blackmailing people, and y'all are talking about being in an open relationship. The only people who are really gonna probably get your music are those who don't pay attention to any of this stuff, and people who aren't heavily gospel fans, because we don't like mess. We don't like mess. And by we, I mean, this is good for the R&B world. This is good for reality TV. But in the world of faith-based, inspirational stuff, those people don't want the mess. They're listening to the music to escape the mess. And this is messy. It's beyond messy. You did it. And you're on camera crying, and I don't even feel like you're crying because of the fact that you feel like you lost your sister. I feel like you're crying because you're worried about losing your career. You've wanted this solo career for such a long time, so much so that you went behind your sister's back and you brokered a gospel deal, because the email that was shown, that you showed on your message, that your sister later showed, she pointed out that yes, it was the both of you, but after she said that she wanted there to be an even split, then you cut her out and you went and got the deal by yourself. So once again, you were sneaky and you did some underhanded things. I am no longer a fan of Tasha. Tasha Bivens Scott, Tasha Scott, LaTocha Scott, whatever your name is, I am no longer a fan. I don't want to download anything. I don't want to listen to anything. I'm not going to watch it on YouTube. I saw the little clip on Twitter, and that's going to be as far as it goes for me. Because to me, this is too much. Tamika, if you choose to respond again, I hope your only response is via the court. Cease and desist. Stop talking about me. Keep my name out your mouth. Whatever it is, I hope that's your response. I don't want to see any more videos. I don't want to see, because going on live, sitting there, showing the room that your husband isn't in when he could obviously be in a room next door, sitting right outside the door on speakerphone, talking in your ear. I don't know. He could be anywhere. That doesn't change anything. You guys are butt buddies. You say what he says. It's obvious that you guys talk at some point about something. You've been married to him for 28 years and da-da-da-da. And he saved you and now you're all alone. Well, let you tell it you're not all alone because you still have him. This is sad. And I honestly don't want to see them get back together. I feel like Candy has shown more than enough grace. And listening to Candy and listening to the brat point out, like Candy told you before how she felt. We saw it. Oh, I didn't know that Candy felt alone. She told you she felt alone. We saw you cry about it on your season. I don't recall that. Very passive aggressive. How are you so selective when you sat there crying about it? And then what do we have again? The foolishness all over again. From what they're saying, from Candy's speak on it, there's going to be more that we're going to see that's going to go down in these next episodes in regards to you and Rocky. You say you're not about this reality stuff, but we haven't seen you sing. You haven't been at a rehearsal. The only time you sang was when you were in Gospel Motown and you sang that Tyre song that they got really excited about and that Rocky was jumping all up and down about. That's it. If you want to show us your singing, then sing. I don't want to hear about this anymore. And honestly, this is probably the only video I'm going to do about all the stuff that's not going on the episode for us to see. But I just got really frustrated and really annoyed. And I'm leaving a lot of things out because we all know what it is. And what it is it's a mess. I'll see you guys sometime this week.